Alright, so I wanted to make a video about the CAGED system. This is a really good video on how to use the CAGED system. If you're a beginner guitar player and you are kind of struggling figuring out how to use this stuff, trust me, this will help you. So there's a guitar teacher named Stitch Method. Look up Stitch Method Masterclass and he'll teach you. It's like 2 hours or something, but I want to give you an example too and like just give a brief overview of this. You'll definitely understand it if you haven't so far. So I'm also going to give you an example of a blues shuffle, just so you can incorporate this. Okay, so say you had blues in E, E to A to D is just, okay. So I've got that plan. Now, the caged shapes, you have C, A, G, E, D. The C shape doesn't mean it's a C chord. That's just a shape. You can use a C shape in A, in D, in E. Okay. Now after the C shape, it's always the same shape. After that's the A shape, and the G, and the E, and the D. Okay, that's for order. Caged. Okay. Now you can apply that to any key, and then when you play them because they're connected, you also know where the root notes are in those shapes. Now you can find any note. Okay, and you can bring all the chords to one small area where that shape in that key is. Okay, so get this. I have a E to A to D playing right now. Okay, so you might know the E pentatonic shape. Number one pentatonic shape, whatever. And you might want to play that, and then when the A comes around, you might go up here. And then when the D comes around, you might go down here. Now I might sound a little different because I'm in E flat tuning, but so now get this. Here's where I want to put the shapes in. Okay, so like I said, you can find any note. So if you know the A is right here, just say you know that, right? You know one note on the fretboard. Okay, you have the A. Well, I know that is an E shape. Okay. If I know after the E, there's a G. I mean, a D. I'm sorry, the D. Caged. My bad. So you have the E shape, and you have the D. I'm just beginning this too, and I'm starting to play this sometimes. And after that, you have a C shape. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm bringing my notes down here. I'm finding out where they are down there, so I can stay in that pentatonic, but also have the other notes. Okay, and after that's the A. Okay, there's my A notes and A chord. Now what this do? This give you efficiency, right? So you're in the E shape, but now you know where those A notes are. So when A comes around, you can just. But now the D, okay, because the notes don't have to be in the pentatonic, right? You can hit the note that's not even in there and it'll sound good. Okay, so you have a D in this backing track. And I know that a D is right here. Let's just say you know two chords. You know the D is that. You know two notes. You know the D is that. Well, the shape, the other D is right there. Because there's going to be two root notes in each shape. Or more, but just a regular shape. Simplified shape. Well, I know that's an A shape. And then after that, you would have a G shape. And after that, you would have an E shape. And after that, you'd have a D shape. So there's my D notes. If I want to stay in here, there's my D notes. When D comes around, even though I'm right here, I can see those notes aren't in the regular pentatonic of E. But even though I'm down here in the E, I know where my D is. I know my so when a D is on playing on the backtrack, I can just when the A's comes around. Now this will help you remember this stuff because you're playing it on a backing track and everything. But once you start to remember this stuff and you're playing it like this, it's really helpful because you can find any note. You can find the 1, 4, and 5 and the 7th and mixed 7th chords of any note anywhere. Like trust me, like you could hit 2 notes and be playing a chord, like part of a chord, like just anywhere. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you're up here, and then you're just like, those are just random. You know, I'm not tracking that. I'm just starting this too, so I'm just learning this stuff too. But it's great because you can stay in one shape, you know, and then all of a sudden, like there's some kind of chord coming, you know. You don't have to go down here to the other pentatonic, wherever it's at. You can stay in the same pentatonic, and there's when those chords come around, hit just those chord tones. There's going to be plenty of notes available to you right here of any key. Think about it. You know, the same notes are shared in different keys, right? You just have some notes that are together in one key. But then you have, you know, several chords in a song. Eventually, you're just right here, but you're playing like all kinds of different stuff, and then you just move right here and sing whatever you want, you know. So it's just a better tool to be creative on guitar, because whatever you're trying to be creative with, you need tools. You know, if you're painting or whatever, you know, if I give you a brush or a pencil, you might be able to do different stuff. Your creativeness is still based on, you know, the music that you're trying to produce. But on guitar, there are better tools than pentatonic to stay in a key, right? On the song, if you're in a backing track or improvising on a backing track, you want to stay in key. Pentatonic is not the best way if you're just thinking pentatonic, because it's less efficient, right? It's less efficient, especially if you're right here, and then, you know, what pentatonic is that of the other key? Like, it's just way better because you could just go up here and you could just do a whole line of these where it's just like one note. Like, oh, it's just so good. Like, I came across this a while back, but I was like, you know, it was so hard to understand, and I was like, passed it up on Stitch Method. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro, this is guitar. You know what I mean? Like, it's so frustrating for beginners like me. I'm still learning this because you'll learn the pentatonic, but then you'll be like all I play is like, you know, you can do a lot just with pentatonic. Trust me, like just the shape of the pentatonic, you can still play excellent. Like everything, you can play everything, right? But trust me, if you watch the players, the good players, you know, like even like John Mayer or like Jimi Hendrix, like even if they just understand, even if the best guitar players just understand the sound and not necessarily like what the shapes are, that's what the shapes are going to give you. It's going to give you the sound. And when you start incorporating the shapes with a song, that's what it's going to do, is get the sound in you, so you make sense of these sounds. Because, you know, even the best guitar players that don't know any you know, specific, or like can't read music, they understand the music innately. This is going to help you do that. It's really good. This is just great stuff, you know, the Cage. So I'm just going to show you the shapes real quick. These are no certain chords. I could figure out what chords. I mean, I could figure out, you know, what key these are, what chords these are exactly, but I'm just going to show you the shape. So start up here. So this is the C shape, okay? After that, you have the A shape. After that, you have a G shape. I can't play the whole G shape, but I know where the root notes are in the G shape. G, and after that, you have the E shape. And after that, D shape. Just learn those shapes. And then, like I said, eventually you'll be able to know where anything's at. So I know I have an E right here, for example, the E. Say I didn't know where any other E's were, but I knew that E. I somehow know that E. Right? Well, I know my shapes, and I know where the root notes are in those shapes, so I can recognize what shape is going to be right there with that root note. And I know it's going to be a D shape right there. And this right here is the other E. And then, so that's, like I said, it's D. So then after that you have the, after that you have a C, right? Because it's always over. And if I know where my root notes are in the chord, which I do, I know where my other E's are. So E right there. Now I know there's another E right there. So I'm finding the E. I'm finding out these chords. Do this enough times with enough music playing in real time, you're gonna figure this out. You're gonna understand the music, right? Because it sounds. There's a reason we group the chord. You know, it's not. They don't sound good together because they're in the same key. They sound good together, so we put them in the same key. It's why it's theory. It's not law. It's just music theory. So there's a C, A. Okay, so I know there's another E right there because I know where the root notes are in the shape, and I know the shapes. After that, D, yeah, it's A, so it's G. Not that one. And then after that, it was G, so E. Now notice, see, I just know the shapes, and I'm finding all these chords, like imagine where this could take you, like, bro, you're able to play the music that you hear because you understand the music and how it relates to the tool you're using to produce it. That's all it is, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're good, like, you know, even if you are really creative with, like, painting or something like that, like I said, you gotta at least understand how to do that, right? How to hold the brush or something. Like, it's just a simple thing. It's the creativeness you have is still, like, you know, free and everything. This stuff doesn't take away from your creativity at all, because this is pure guitar. This is just how guitar works. I will say this: you want to relate it to music. Okay, you want to play with it. You don't just want to know this stuff. That's why you want to understand why this is a 1-4-5. E, let's see, A B C D E F G. Yeah, you want to understand why that's a 1-4-5 right over here. And all it is you have A is 1, B, C, D is 4, E is 5. If you were in A. Okay, if you were in B, then you just count up like that, but there are some notes and stuff. Some flats and all that, that'll be in some of them, sharps. Like I said, I'm still learning.